Baker Mayfield walked onto the game of college football, and tonight he walks away with the Heisman Trophy. An unconventional route indeed for the University of Oklahoma star, who began his career as a walk-on at Texas Tech, suffered an injury, transferred to Oklahoma, has been a serious contender for the award the past few seasons, and won it this year, becoming the first walk-on to ever do so.
There's no way I could ever imagine how this feels right now. You know, it's the highest honor you can possibly receive, and it's unbelievable. Like you said, it's a dream right now, and I'm just trying to enjoy it. Luckily, I got my family here and coaches and some friends here to enjoy it with me.
For any coach, to have a chance for your guy to be standing here, you know, to win the Heisman Trophy, and just to do it, you know, kind of at the end of such a long journey that we've had together. That's a proud moment. That's certainly something that I'll never forget.
The 83rd Heisman winner is one of 7 players to finish in the top 5 of the Heisman vote 3 times. He's also the 37th quarterback to win the Heisman. This season, he completed 71% of his passes for 4,340 yards and 41 touchdowns for a passer rating of 203.8, the best of all time.
We got practice 11 a.m. on Monday. You know, we came back trying to win first a Big 12 championship, which we've done that, and then now have a chance to compete for national championships. So Baker, the rest of our team, will be solely focused on that.
I've always been a person to show my emotions, to be bluntly honest. I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud of what it's taken to get me here, and then I'm also proud to say I've had a lot of help along the way.
Now turn his attention to New Year's Day and the Rose Bowl, where he and Oklahoma will face Georgia. Mayfield is 34-5 in his college career. Should be a great game. Back in the Bronx, the New Era Pinstripe Bowl kicks off at Yankee Stadium on Wednesday, December 27th. Boston College and Iowa will meet. That game gets rolling at 5:15 p.m. Our Bronx Net cameras will have you covered. The bowl games begin this weekend. 39 bowl games on tap over the next 2 weeks. Clemson and Alabama are also among the favorites for the national championship. They meet in the other semifinal in the college football playoff. On the NFL gridiron, tis the season in New York for second-string quarterbacks. Both the New York Jets and the New York Giants will likely get a look at the depth chart as they close out non-playoff seasons. The Jets came undone in Denver last Sunday. The Broncos snapped their longest losing streak since joining the NFL in 1970 with a 23-0 shutout of Gang Green, thanks to wide receiver Demaryius Thomas's big game and a return of Denver's stingy defense. Thomas caught 8 passes for 93 yards and a touchdown as the 4-9 Broncos avoided tying their franchise futility record of 9 consecutive losses set way back in 1967. Meanwhile, just when things were looking up for the Jets, they hit rock bottom against the Broncos with possibly their worst offensive showing in team history. The 5-8 Jets were limited to just 100 yards of offense, 59 on the ground and 41 through the air. But what's worse is what happened to veteran quarterback Josh McCown. He was knocked from the game twice by hard hits, including a clean shot by pass rusher Shane Ray in the third quarter that left McCown with an injured left hand. He needs surgery. He's done for the season. His replacement, Bryce Petty, was 2 of 9 for 14 yards. He'll get the start this Sunday against the 9-4 Saints in New Orleans. The Jets could try Christian Hackenberg at some point as well. As for the Giants, Eli Manning is still the starter, but I would think following last Sunday's 30-10 loss to Dallas, that Big Blue fans could see rookie Davis Webb take some snaps in the final games of the season. Giant fans were certainly happy about the return of Super Bowl legend Manning under center. Things were looking great until the fourth quarter last Sunday at MetLife Stadium. Here's more. The Giants return to MetLife Stadium on Sunday with a new head coach and a familiar face under center for Big Blue, but unfortunately the result was still the same against rival Dallas as the Giants, despite a spirited effort, lost 30-10.
I'm really proud of the men in that locker room. I told them that after all we went through this week. I thought the way we came out and the way we played for 3.5 quarters was something we could be proud of. We do have to figure out a way in the fourth quarter when it gets down to gut-wrenching time to make a play or two.
Manning finished 31 of 46 for 228 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions after a whirlwind 2 weeks that saw an outcry over his benching. followed by his eventual reinsertion into the starting lineup. Both interceptions came in the fourth quarter.
I thought we had a good crowd today, and appreciate all their support these past weeks, and sorry we couldn't give them a better game today. It'd be easy to complain and to bark at each other and say it's not fair or one side's not doing their part, but we haven't fallen into that trap. We got some high character guys on this team. We just don't have the just kind of that firepower to finish some of these games.
The Giants welcome the 11-2 Philadelphia Eagles to East Rutherford this Sunday. Only saving grace for the G-men is not having to face star quarterback Carson Wentz, who tore his ACL last weekend. Nonetheless, the NFC East leading Eagles still managed to pull it together with Nick Foles under center. On the ice, it's been a tough week for the Rangers. They opened the week Monday at home against Dallas and fell 2-1 in a shootout. We go back inside the locker room for more.
It took us a long time to get going here, 2 periods. I thought our third period was a little bit better, but at the same time, we're too far into the season here to have, a game like this where we're now coming up with pucks, not moving our feet, not connecting the dots. I mean, they're a quick team and they're a heavy team at the same time. We can play with some pace. We've proven it before.
You got to forget about this game right now. I think everyone felt embarrassed about the first 2 periods, how we competed and how we handle ourselves. So we came in strong in the third, and I think everyone expects that the next game we need to show up. So.
There's nothing really to feel good about. I feel good about how Pavs played. I think we didn't generate much, and the other team played really well. Their goalie obviously shut down the looks we did have, but we understand, we need to be a lot better, and I think we're thankful that we have a lot of games and not too many days, and I'll tell them to think about this one.
Yeah, well, I think they spent a lot of time in our end, and the penalty kill, we did a hell of a job over there. I think we did a great job, but that's helped them to stay in our zone a little bit, but we had some chances there. So, it's you have to give the credit to Lehtonen. He didn't see a lot of shots, but he makes some really good saves. So, tough loss again.
The Broadway Blue Shirts return to action on Wednesday in Ottawa and lost 3-2 in Canada. The Rangers are home tonight for the LA Kings and back in action Saturday against the Bruins in Boston. As for the other locals, the New Jersey Devils will host Dallas, and the Islanders welcome the Kings to Brooklyn tomorrow night. Rivalry week for the Knicks here in New York. Kristaps Porzingis and the Knicks took down Lonzo Ball and the upstart LA Lakers in overtime Tuesday night, and we're back in action last night in Brooklyn. Courtney Lee scored 18 of his 27 points in the second half, and the Orange and Blue held on to beat the Nets 111-104 after losing star forward Porzingis to a sore left knee early in the second half. Spencer Dinwiddie had 26 for the Nets. Check this out.
I think it was a fun game. It was physical, very physical. Guys, Von Baker had 2 blocks. It was fun to watch. And our guys would just play really hard, and we try to match their intensity. They play really hard, and they play with a lot of energy, and we try to match them, and we were able to. Courtney made some big plays at the end, and we were able to get the win.
Yeah, the fact that he went out, obviously he's the leader of this team. So we took a moment to adjust, but we did it good at the end of the game. We played very good. We played very good defensively, which allowed us to run after and to get some easy basket and to get in the rhythm. So we did a great job.
It's tough when you put that much energy into a run. We just got to find a way to be able to not get down by 17 to start with. That way, when we go on those runs, we're able to go up by 10 or so. But you got to give them a lot of credit. They did a great job coming back at us. Both in the second quarter, we went on a run, and the third quarter, they were able to keep us from maintaining that momentum we had.
They did a great job. That's what their MO is. That's how they play, and they stuck to their style, and we weren't able to combat that.
Honestly, we wasn't aggressive, man. We wasn't. It's kind of like talking about competing. We weren't competing and getting back, transition defense. They kind of wanted it more in the first half.
Now the Orange and Blue will welcome former star Carmelo Anthony and the Oklahoma City Thunder to the world's most famous arena on Saturday night. It's Melo's first game back since departing for OKC this summer. That game tips at 7:30 p.m. If you can fathom it, the Thunder are 13-14, 2 wins behind the 15-13 Knicks. Carmelo Anthony. The Nets will be in Toronto tonight and back home for Indiana on Sunday. And on a final sports roundup note, the evil empire is back in the Bronx. The Yankees and GM Brian Cashman have done it again. They stole the back pages this week with the addition of Giancarlo Stanton from Miami. The National League Most Valuable Player is bound for the BX. He was introduced Monday at the winter meetings in Florida. The Yanks shipped out all-star second baseman Starlin Castro and 2 prospects while assuming $265 million of what's left on the Stars' mega contract. Not surprisingly, Yanks are now favored in Las Vegas to win the World Series. Rena, order is restored in the universe. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for some final thoughts on the Pinstripers. Brian Cashman had been the subject of a bit of second guessing in recent weeks for replacing manager Joe Girardi with Aaron Boone and losing out on Japanese prospect Shohei Ohtani, who is injured, by the way. That news came out this week. When there were rumblings the Yanks might be interested in Stanton, the smart money assumed the Marlins were merely trying to get the LA Dodgers to sweeten the pot. Instead, Cashman swept in and got one of the top 5 players in baseball for an everyday player who was about to lose his job to star prospect Gleyber Torres. Torres, the best prospect in all of baseball, finds a home because of the Stanton deal. It was clear last year that the 21-year-old Torres was ready for the majors. He's a natural shortstop, but the Yankees have Didi Gregorius at short, so Torres got some playing time at second in the minors. The Yanks also dealt Chase Headley this week, freeing up the prospects of another big player coming back. That could be Todd Frazier playing third, or top prospect Miguel Andujar getting the job. Now the Yanks infield of the future makes more sense. Gregorius at short, Torres at second, Andujar at third. The Stanton deal is also a boost for Aaron Judge. Judge is modest, almost to a fault, totally happy to be a number 2 hitter who hit 52 home runs, which means that he'll see Stanton as a support rather than a threat. Judge will learn from Stanton's approach at the plate. They're both gigantic right-handed sluggers while letting Stanton absorb most of the heat from the media. In other words, the Yanks got number 27 this week. That's Stanton's number, and that likely means World Series victory number 28 is next. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Yankee fans. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.